Hey yo,
What's
what's
up,
going on?
folks?
It's Jenny Boy back with y'all. Hopefully forever. Well, it's not gonna be forever. I'm gonna take some time off, but for the time being, you'll see me on this very show, Sports Sanity Podcast on Sports Sanity Network. I'm joined by my good friend Billy Boy. Thank you, Billy Boy, while I was away in Puerto Rico for holding down the fort. I really appreciate you.
No problem, my friends. And I just want to leave a little note for our YouTube audience. We only did one show last week, me and Mark Oldos, Guy
Yeah.
Halpern. Something with the video happened, so that episode is only available in audio form. So go
Yeah.
back, so go listen to that.
Yeah, just a heads up. We the plan was to go live. Plan fell through with that, from my understanding of the situation, and we were supposed to go video only, but like Bill said, the video quality was not the greatest. We kind of tried a new thing and it didn't quite work. So we live and we learn. Audio only, episode 394 is up right now. Wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to that. So we do apologize for not having a live show, but episode 395 is live. I think I put
We are here.
395 in there. No, I put 394. I should probably edit that. So I do
Edit that,
apologize.
dude.
I do apologize. This is not, for those of you reading the title right now, it is episode 395, not 394. So let me take that time to do that. But in the meantime, while I correct my stupid ass mistake, how's your week been, Billy Boy?
It's been all right, dude. It's been all right, Been busy with work and been doing this. Everything is going fine. Ash Wednesday was this past Wednesday, so it's now Lent.
Right. It is now Lent. You know what, Bill? For first of all, I forgot that this Wednesday, since there's a lot going on with me in terms of work, and then of course I have my cousin's wedding in Puerto Rico. Shout out to Annalise Sapero and Darius Jordan Lee. I'm trying to get his name right. Congrats to the newlyweds and a beautiful couple. Tremendous stuff. Great wedding, great venue. Everything was awesome. So thank you for a great weekend and stuff. And then, of course, sending love to my grandma. She's still recovering from a horrible bacterial infection. Wishing her a speedy recovery. But in any case, but yeah, no, it's been cool. It's been really cool for that. But yeah, no, I'm glad that things worked out. I'm glad that things were
Yeah.
great here.
So don't forget to check out that audio version. We talked about the whole thing with Pete Rose.
Mhm. Yeah, by the way, just real quick on that. You know,
Since you weren't here, I'll let you give us your thoughts.
I mean, I'm not gonna be too much on it. The thing with Pete Rose, first of all, Donald Trump, I don't care about what he did. Part of that.
Listen, I said this when I was talking with Mark. I think that was all symbolic.
Yeah, it was
Like the party is not going to
Donald
do
Trump has no
anything.
power. Like it is what it is.
I don't know if he knows he has no power, if he doesn't know he has no power, or
Yeah,
he actually thinks this and he's trying
whatever.
to move Rob Manfred's head. And
Yeah. But it is interesting that Rob Manfred, all it took was a Donald Trump pardon of Pete Rose for Rob Manfred to wake up and smell the coffee. That's the thing that really ticks me off, Bill. And look, we get it. At the time, it was frowned upon to do this gambling within your sport and everything and all the other crap that Pete Rose did. But wake up and smell the coffee after he's dead, after Donald Trump does something. Like, come on. Like, all he had to do, Rob Manfred, was talk to Pete Rose. Look, Pete Rose, I'm sure he apologized, right? He's be like, hey, look, I'm remorseful. I want to be in the Hall of Fame. I want to give back to the game of baseball. He's been a great ambassador, regardless of the fact that he's banned from the game, right? So
yes,
all he had to do was have a conversation while he was still alive and get him back into the sport where everyone loves him. But he didn't do that. And that's why, he's going to go down as one of the worst commissioners in the game because,
Who,
he
Rob
had
Manfred?
yeah, I mean, he had this whole union issue with them, the COVID thing, which was a disaster, and then of course this whole Pete Rose thing. Now you're gonna lift. Now you're gonna
Play
think
nice.
about lifting the ban after he's dead, so he's never gonna know that who's gonna be reinstated in the game of baseball.
You know
It's
what?
so stupid.
I want to ask you something, and Mark didn't want to talk about this, but you know what? What the heck? Here we go. Just last month we had the death of Faye Vincent, the commissioner that did the Pete Rose banning.
Right.
Do you think maybe, and I hate to say it this way, but do you think maybe Rob Manfred waited for Faye Vince to pass so he could
It's a good thing to think about. I'm not
that
gonna go that far just yet.
because
But
maybe
what I
Manfred
will
was
say is,
thinking because maybe Manfred was thinking, hey, I want to respect Faye
but,
Vincent.
but why does
Faye
that
Vincent was no
matter?
longer commissioner, Rob. You are.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not gonna go that far to say that.
And because listen, regardless how you feel about Faye Vincent, we talked about him when he died. Go listen to that. Pete Rose, yeah, they'll talk about the earthquake game, the stuff with George Steinbrenner, but no, the Pete Rose stuff is Faye Vince's legacy.
Yeah.
That is his legacy,
Well,
and
there's a
it's
lot of
not
things
a
that
good
can tie
legacy.
into
I'm
it.
sorry,
Yeah.
but
So look, if Rob Manfred ends up, reinstating him posthumously, whatever.
so
But
do you, no, because Reg, I 100% agree with you. Rob Manfred has been a terrible commissioner. Do you
yeah,
think he's doing this now just to get some clout? Just like,
yeah. Well,
hey,
everything's been
see,
bad
I
about it.
did what you all wanted. So, see, I'm not too
Yeah,
bad.
but even with that, and just real quick, I'm gonna tie in the Otani stuff too, because he's been a disaster with that as well. You know, you have this Otani issue with the gambling, and now all of a sudden the Otani scrutiny, we all know Otani's involved. He'll never admit to that. You have the Otani scrutiny, and then of course you have the P. Rose, he's dead, the Fake Vincent, he's dead. So it's a whole mess. It's a disaster. And look, I can't wait until this guy leaves. Baseball needs a better commissioner. They need someone that could focus on getting the game back to where it was into ultimate American glory. Look, it'll never be the number one sport ever again. But at the very least, can we get it back to its glory? So that it can be celebrated nationwide.
I want
So
to
yeah.
ask you one more question regarding this since you weren't here.
Mm.
Do you think they should wait for his era to come up again, or do you think maybe they should have a special election?
It's not going to matter. They're not going to elect him to the Hall of Fame. So
Wait, you don't
I
think
don't
they're going
know.
to do it?
I don't know. It's going to take a lot, and getting him into the Hall of Fame is the right thing. But like, you gotta think about like how does Pete Rose's family how do they feel about that? You know,
Well, they're probably going to be a little bit of a mixed bag. They're like, okay, finally, but they're also going to be thinking, hey, buddy, too little, too late.
you know.
Why didn't you do this when he was alive?
Mm, shame.
Again, I don't want to think that Rob Manfred was sitting there waiting for Faye Vincent to pass. I don't want to think that way, but maybe he kind of was.
It could be true. I mean, it's not out of the realm. It's not like way off there. You're not necessarily wrong. I just don't know if I'm ready to go that far yet because I feel like it really didn't matter in any case. All right, that's the Pete Rose stuff real quick. We do have some baseball to get to, and all that stuff. But
It's
however,
coming, folks.
it's coming. Oh, we are what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks away, something like that, from baseball
Yeah,
starting.
we're 3 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's coming.
Oh, it's gonna be so
You can
great.
smell the grass.
Yes. I can look. I'm thinking about going to a Yankee game this year for the first time in like 4 or 5 years.
Let me know.
So, so
I'll go with you.
you'll definitely know. But man, I cannot wait to go to Nats Park this season and watch some baseball because that's gonna be such great things. Obviously, like I said, I'll hopefully make a trip out to the Bronx to see the Yankees. Um,
Call me, Reggie.
Yep. But in any case, we do have baseball. We have stuff about Vlad Guerrero that we got to talk about. Um, we got to start with some football though, because while I was away, while Bill was kind of here, kind of not, um, we had stories that we got to
Yes, we
get to,
did.
including about Billy Boy's nice finest running back that he allowed to walk away on his own terms.
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley got a pay raise, a 2 year extension, I believe, 4 year,
Yep, 2 years.
2 year extension, um, north of $40 million, which is just incredibly outrageous amount of money for any player, let alone a running back. But Saquon Barkley gets another big time payday, contract extension. So he'll remain in Philadelphia for quite a while. Um, I think it's a great investment. Look, Saquon, the Eagles did the right thing by getting Saquon to Philly. They did the right thing, eh, obviously to the absolute torture of New York fans, but it was the right move. They had to get a big time running back. And now that guy is going to remain the fabric of the Eagles culture for years to come. Bill, what's your thoughts?
Oh God, bro, it just gets worse and worse. But if
Mhm.
you're a Giants fan, it gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
If you're a Giants fan,
Mhm.
he is. It's just, because one, oh no, we can't let Saquon go to Philly. Saquon goes to Philly. Okay, well, hope they don't make it to the playoffs. They make it to the playoffs. Okay, hope they don't make it to the Super Bowl. They make it to the Super Bowl. Okay, hope they don't win. They win the Super Bowl. Okay, he's only going to be there for 4 years. Oh, he has 2 more years. How come every time that happens, I have to remind myself how much of an idiot Joe Shane is? Am I right?
So much of an idiot that the Giants have still trusted him to run the front office and build a football team. That's the craziest. Um, Here's the thing. I love this move for the Eagles. I love the move when they got him initially, but the contract extension is massive because what it says, and look, the Eagles are getting rid of people, but they're going to replace some of these big time players that they released with much younger, maybe cheaper, probably better options because they're building around the Saquon fabric, the Jalen Hurts culture. Like they're building around that. Nick Sirianni, as much as he has a punchable face and I don't like the guy, he's actually done a very good job with his Eagles team.
Oh,
Howie
yes.
Roseman has done a tremendous job building this team. And you got to give Philly credit where credit is due. They're trying to build to win long term. And building long term means keeping the people that make your squad what it is. So it's a commitment to winning. And while, yes, the players that were here the previous season, their Super Bowl season, they're not, a lot of these players are not going to come back. You're going to replace them, but you're keeping the core. And that's the big thing, Bill. You're keeping the core. And Saquon had a tremendous record breaking season. It would have been a disaster um to to get rid of, to let him go after a certain point. You want to keep him long term. So that's where my stance is on that. I think it's a great move for the Eagles. So that's Saquon. Man,
Oh no,
41.
I'm sorry. This is like my constant reminder of why Joe Shane's an idiot.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Joe Shane is still here, so you're gonna have to deal with it even longer, you know? But by the way, $41.2 million is the official number of the contract extension.
42 million.
Insane.
If I see that Hard Knocks clip again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh, by the way, did you see that the Hard Knocks update? They're gonna do Bill Belichick's UNC team
Yeah, you know
rather
why
than an
they're doing
NFL
it.
team
They're
because
doing it.
all these NFL teams have learned they're learning their lesson. You know, they're like,
People
hey,
don't want to see the shit that goes on in our office.
I am not gonna expose my front office the way that the Giants did. Whoa, what a disaster that was.
How
It's
much you want
great
to
for
bet they all called the Hard Knocks people called every other team and they said,
yeah.
"Hey, you want to do Hard Knocks off season this year?" And they're like, "No."
No, 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 no. Look, it was great for drama, I'll tell you that much. But not so great for the Giant fan that got absolutely fucking exposed. It's fucking
No, this
crazy.
is why I'm not liking the Hard Knocks off season thing because that shows you if a team like the Giants has a dysfunctional front office, everyone is seeing how dysfunctional your front office really is.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
Hmm. Terrible.
It's
Terrible.
awful.
But in any case, that's Saquon. He'll remain an Eagle for a very long time, and Billy Boy's gonna have to get over it at some
I'm gonna have to deal with it, unfortunately.
point.
So he's gonna be there for
He's
5 more years.
he
Yay.
is, and if he stays exactly what it is, and we hope that he does, Bill, he's gonna absolutely. I don't want to say the words because it's not family friendly. So I'll just say this:
Destroy us. Yes, he
he is
will.
going to absolutely cream you in the division. uh,
God, this why does this get worse and worse?
I don't know, but it's crazy. All right. In other news from the NFL, um, we all know that Miles Garrett was not one open for a contract extension, but he had also requested a trade. Um, it has now been reported that Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, also recently declined a request to meet with Miles Garrett amid that trade request. Um, and of course, the Browns are declining to comment to any media organization. And the look, the Browns remain, firm. They're not going to trade him. And Miles Garrett's like, well, I'm not playing. So those two sides are it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Now we have that situation.
And the Brown look the shame on the Browns. The Browns for the longest time they've played with their players. They have not remained committed to winning.
They
They
haven't.
build a good team, but then destroy those good teams. They're inconsistent winning, inconsistent coaches. It's a disaster. It's all that's a disaster. And then, look, the front office doesn't do a great job at building their team. And they continue to defend, even though they restructured his contract, they continue to defend this disastrous signing of Deshaun Watson. Continue.
The guy's hurt and the guy has baggage. Why the hell are you keeping this guy?
Exactly.
Brad,
So
can they
it's no
explain to
wonder.
me what planet this makes sense on? Because it doesn't.
Yeah. And it's no shocker that someone like Miles Garrett's like, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. I want to win. I want a stable organization. So Brown's got a lot of thinking to do,
Oh,
and
they got a
they don't have
lot of things
much
to
to
do.
give. You know,
Oh, they got a lot of thinking to do, my friend. A lot. So yeah, so that's where we go with whatchamacallit, with the NFL, and what else do we got?
Just a couple of releases. Joey Bosa's time in LA with Chargers is over. Evan Ingram, the tight end from in Jacksonville, he's done. Um, and the all those other things. Oh, and Bobby Wagner from Washington, 10-time Pro Bowler. He is staying in Washington. Just
Yay!
just a small 1-year deal, $8 million. And he's been a huge gamer for Washington all these years. So, definitely a big time move for them. Um, just real quick on Wagner in 13 seasons, he has over 1,800 tackles, 35 sacks, 102 quarterback hits, and 13 interceptions. So good once again to keep the big time core. And the Commanders, no, the Commanders coming off a great season. They could really use his veteran presence. So Bobby Wagner staying in Washington. And that's all of the NFL that we have uh, for this week. And then over to the NBA real quick. The Knicks, probably the worst loss of the season. Um, they lose a tough one in LA in overtime, 113-109. I was watching all the second half where everything started to unravel and the Lakers came back. Knicks had a pretty big lead, but then they were outscored big time in the fourth quarter. Um, and uh, in overtime, they did lose Jalen Brunson to a Laker to ankle injury. I can't say it right. Ankle injury, and could miss an extended period. It was a really bad injury. For those of you that have not watched how Jalen Brunson got hurt, he was going to the basket. He was being mobbed by defenders. Of course, that's the big defensive plan. Take away Brunson, right? He was driving into the lane trying to get a bucket, and he collides with the Lakers and rolled I think his left ankle. I think his left or right ankle, I forget. But he rolled his ankle as he was going to the ground. It was a really bad injury. He could miss some time, and that's going to be huge for the Knicks
Oh, it is.
because
Oh, that's gonna
they,
be that's gonna hit them big.
they need his offense. And look, obviously, next man up. Hopefully, Karl Anthony Towns can come in and pick up the scoring. Hopefully, we'll get something out of OG Anunoby. We do get a lot from him, but we're going to need more. We're going to need more out of Mikal Bridges. But man, we don't have Brunson's offense, Bill. That's going to be
Oh
really
boy,
tricky
the
to win in
Knicks
the
is starting
playoff.
to suffer.
You know, just putting into perspective, the Knicks against the top teams in the NBA, it's bad. It's a bad record. And now they've lost what, couple, two straight to the Lakers, something like that. So
Yes. So yeah, it's not looking good, folks.
I don't want to punt on the season. We're going to make the playoffs. I don't want
Yes,
to
they
punt on the
are.
season, Bill, but I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't. I don't.
I don't like it either, but
Oh
it might
boy.
have to be done. Plus,
We'll
it
see.
sucks that Brunson's hurt.
We'll see what the Knicks do. But trouble is certainly in paradise over with the orange and blue in New York City. So, Garden, stay rocking. Please stay rocking. I know you don't have Billy Joe anymore as your resident, but you know,
You
still.
have something rocking there.
uh, anyways, so that's the Knicks. Uh, Kevin Durant is a pretty interesting future ahead because he's set to enter the last of a 4-year. contract extension he signed. This is back when he was in Brooklyn, but of course he was traded to the Sun. So um, we're trying to figure out his future over in Phoenix. Um, he doesn't have a no trade clause, but he does hold a lot of leverage on where he wants to go. And he does want to end his career on his terms. So I don't know. Like, this is interesting, Bill. Where does Kevin Durant want to go? Does he want to go to a winner? He's definitely not going to win in Phoenix. Does he want to go to a winner to finish his career? Or is he going to be content where he goes? I don't know. It's a very interesting situation.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. Like, I feel like if he goes to maybe a Dallas, they're also talking about the Knicks. I'm not in on that, to be quite honest with you. Unless the Knicks lose a catastrophe, there's the amount of players. If they somehow lose a bunch of players and it's crazy. But like, I don't expect that.
Yeah,
If
well, they're
he
saying he's playing in his last year as a Phoenix Sun, and who is gonna be? I'm reading an article right now of who's gonna be hesitant to get Durant. Who do you think's gonna put out the money for him?
call me crazy, Bill,
All right,
but
You're crazy.
a reunion in OKC. I know they have a great team already, so they don't need him. But just for veteran presence and knowing how to win, I mean, it's not a terrible idea.
That is not a
You know?
terrible idea at
And
all.
you're not going to get him on a big ass contract because you're at the end of his career, so you're not going to get him, you know, on a very expensive contract. That or Golden State. I know they talked about Golden State. They've also mentioned Dallas, Houston. I would like him in Dallas, especially. I mean, I don't know about reuniting with Kyrie, but they could use his presence too over there, especially now that they don't have Luca and we don't know what AD, with his ass being so injury prone, it's crazy. So those are the places I'm thinking about. Um,
So that's gonna be a crazy offseason when Durant
it-
goes
it-
to.
it's gonna be very interesting.
I'm sure the monies are all gonna be on Durant.
Yep. Oh my God. Um, so that's the NBA. Over to baseball. Real quick Yankee situation. Giancarlo's getting injections. So they're trying to speed up his recovery. He's still going to probably be out to start the season. So, um, Luis Hill though, we had a bullpen session, felt tightness in his shoulder. And then the MRI revealed a high grain latch strain. So he's going to be out for about 3 months, which is a tough blow for the Yankees because Luis Hill was actually very serviceable. I mean, he won Rookie of the Year for the American League. So um, very good starter, Bill. Massive loss for the Yankees.
No, I agree. This is gonna be Jill is out. The bullpen's really gonna take a hit,
Yeah,
but hopefully Stroman will come in and fix things, you know?
yeah. And for anyone who had any thoughts of DJ LeMahieu, um, starting the season and filling in the role in the infield while they try to figure out the DH situation. Hold up, hold up.
Hold up.
Thursday, he told reporters, I have a grade 1 or 2 left calf strain and will be sidelined for several weeks.
Uh-oh. The injuries continue in the Bronx, or
Of
in this case, Fort
course.
Myers.
Of course. You see,
Of course.
what a disgrace. So, in case you're wondering, no DJ LeMay. So, no Giancarlo, no DJ, no Luis Hill.
What
Thank
now?
God, thank God we have Aaron Judge, Max Fried, Garrett Cole, Cody Bellinger. But no, these are tough injuries because we one of the things we talked about when trying to do the pivot from Juan Soto was building some depth on our team. Well, there's our depth. It's gone
What
essentially.
is?
So
Giancarlo's going to be hurt. The Yankees are not going to be starting off strong. I'm going to just be honest.
let's see what Boone does. It may not be a total disaster. It's not going to be great. I mean, I don't know. Damn it. But let's see what Boone does. I'm very curious to see how he manages this thing. Maybe he can do one of his like little Houdini sabermetric acts and
He could.
stuff that will work in the regular season then implode in October, as like the running joke.
He could do that, but who knows?
Right.
But you know how Aaron Boone is. He just got an extension after taking the team to the World Series, but hey, he might screw it up this year.
Yeah.
He might screw it all up. Who knows?
What are you thinking for Aaron Judge? 70 home runs?
Ooh, that'd be amazing.
We get 70 from Judge, 40 from Cody Bellinger, 25 to 30 from Jazz.
Oh my God, dude, that'd be amazing.
Well, we need the power. We need
We
it.
do. We need it. We need the power. We got the power. We need the power, Reg.
Yankees are in trouble, in case you haven't figured it
Oh
out.
yeah, this is not going to start off to a good season. I said this last week with Mark. Yanks are in trouble.
Yeah. And look, and look, I'm not saying that look, the Yankees didn't want to go after Soto after the Mets made a massive offer and they decided to take the pivot. This is what the pivot looks like. The reality of the pivot is that not having the safety net stinks, and this is why.
No, this is absolutely why.
Um, but in any case, it is what it is. This is what we have. Real quick on the Vladimir Guerrero because um, the first baseman has disclosed that the latest contract extension proposal that um, his representatives presented to the team was significantly lower. This is from the ESPN article. Was significantly lower than Juan Soto deal with the Mets, which obviously it was falling short of 600 million. And the negotiations between the two sides, the Blue Jays and Guerrero, um, like they were unsuccessful. It didn't happen, and they had a deadline, and they didn't quite get to the deadline. And you gotta keep in mind, Guerrero hits free agency after the season, so um, he did clarify that the details of the negotiation process and refuted claims that his salary expectations were comparable to what Juan Soto ended up getting. So, what does this tell me? Well, you can get Guerrero on the cheap. That's what it tells me. Um, he's going to be expensive anyway, but he's not going to be as expensive. He's not asking to be as expensive as Juan Soto, is basically what I'm taking out of this. The Blue Jays got to figure it out. The Blue Jays cannot afford to lose Vlad Guerrero Jr. They can't. It's bad enough that they have fallen short of expectations with this current Blue Jays team, Bill. They
Yes.
can't lose him.
Yeah. So, where do you think he could go possibly?
You know the Mets are going to be on
Oh, probably.
him.
Probably.
Because rationally, Pete Alonso is not going to be at first base his entire career. And Pete Alonso's only here minimum a year. And, if Pete Alonso does very well, he's going to opt out of that contract. So that kind of opens the door for the Mets to swoop in on Guerrero. That's probably the most logical place. Mets have the money.
You think the Mets have the money?
Yeah,
Well, they got Uncle Steve.
exactly. So there, thinking of another place. It's hard to think right now because I don't know what teams would want him right now, other than the Blue Jays and the Mets. I don't know what other teams would want him. I don't know what teams would go after him. Talking in division, maybe
Well, I
Boston.
know one team that's
Boston.
not going to want him, the Yankees, or he doesn't want to go to the
Well,
Yankees.
yeah, he doesn't want to go to the Yankees. Mm, I get why. Boston, that's another team I can think about.
Oh, I bet he'd enjoy that.
Mm. Atlanta has some money too. They have a lot of money left over. Um, it's hard to say right now because I don't know what teams are interested. But team to watch out for is the Mets. They already know that they could pay up with Soto.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that.
They can definitely pay up with Guerrero. So yeah, so um,
All right. So, anything else we got?
that's all I got on my end. Anything that you want to
Hold on.
bring
Let
up?
me see.
I know the Dodgers are trying to get a long-term extension, just like the Yankees are trying to do with Aaron Boone, with the Dave Roberts in LA. They're trying to get a long-term extension done. Rightfully so. You win a World Series, you win two of them. Like you should be a long-term manager where you're at. So
Ah, yeah. After winning a World Series, you should get an extension. You should get an extension.
here's a conversation we can have. And this
Okay.
is something that I read yesterday with Jeff Passan. Because we have two baseball teams that are playing in minor league parks. What do you truly think about that?
Okay. What two teams are those? Oh, wait. The A's and who are the other ones?
Tampa Bay, because they're playing at the George Steinbrenner complex.
Yeah. What is my thoughts on them playing in a minor league complex? It's just that I think they're just too small. I don't know what you think.
For a major league, big time franchise, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. Look, baseball, attendance wise, they should have no problem selling out those games. But, if you're a major league professional franchise, like, you don't want to be, this is a $1 billion industry. You don't want to be in small ass ballparks and stuff. So, yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible experience. That's me. Look, minor league ballparks are for minor league teams. You know, major league ballparks should be bigger, and they should be for major league teams. You know, because you got to
Yeah.
think about that. You got to think about the amenities. You got to think about
Oh,
all that
absolutely. You got to
stuff.
think about all of that. You can't put when major league players hit the ball farther than minor league players. You can't play in this small little park. You got to play in something bigger.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is the best ideas.
Yeah, the fact that baseball's allowing it to happen, and look, I can understand it for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has nowhere to go. The A's, though, they had a ballpark in Oakland that they could have stayed at. Like they could have negotiated to stay there. And look, while I don't necessarily support the A's staying in Oakland long term, I do think I'm actually one of those that do agree that going to a different city is probably the best for the future of the team. But in the short term, I would much rather be in Oakland, you know? And they blew
Oakland
that.
is
They blew
losing
it.
everything right now.
They blew it. They're in Sacramento right now. And look, Sacramento's going to do everything they can, but that ballpark's not going to be big enough. And they're not going to expand that ballpark. There's not enough space. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to watch, as the Yankees go to both places this season, Sacramento and the George Steinbrenner complex, their own complex. It's essentially going to be a Yankee. I mean, look, the Yankee road games in Tampa are essentially home games anyway. It's going to feel a lot more like home when the Yankees face the Rays this season.
Oh, it is going to feel a lot like it's basically going to be a Yankee home game. Watch. Speaking
Yeah.
of the Yankees, we got to do our first Bombers banter pretty
We
soon.
do have to do our first Bombers banter. And as me and Bill has mentioned before, we are going to remain a live show this season. This is one
We
thing
have made the decision mainly because sometimes editing gets caught late and then
yeah,
it's not done until like weeks later.
yeah. So me and Bill will continue to do live streams, Bombers banter every month,
Every month
starting
here on
soon.
SIN.
Soon. You'll find it on the SIN YouTube page. I'm thinking right around the first week of baseball season. You know,
So like
not
20,
before opening day, a week after opening day. We can probably do that.
yeah, we could do that. We could get away with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course every month after that we'll have a recap and we'll probably do our first full monthly recap in May is what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And then we'll like I just said, we'll do a pre-opening day show or something after opening day. So,
We'll do one of those two.
yeah.
But you'll still be getting a show every month. Don't worry.
Yep. And it's gonna be a fun season. We're hoping to get John Haraska back for the
Johnny,
season.
door is open.
We're hoping to get him. We're hoping to do a collaboration with because they're gonna want to do it, Bill. The Met fans in
Oh, when it's
our
Subway
network
Series
group.
time.
You know that they're gonna want to do it.
Oh, we're
So,
gonna have some fun with that.
and then of course everyone's favorite game, Stump the
Stump the Reg.
okay. And Billy
If
Boy,
John joins the team, it's gonna be stump both of them.
yeah. Sure. I mean, let's do a stump. Why not?
Let's do a stump. You ready to get stumped again this year?
Yeah. How about that? The Met. Can you believe the Mets swept us? They're gonna sweep us again. But let's be real. They're gonna sweep
They
us.
might. They might. They might. That's the sad part.
Oh God. Um. In any case, 395 SIP on SIN's
Five
YouTube
more,
page.
baby. Five more.
We have five more. Please uh and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate your support.
We love you.
Comment down below in the videos. All of our videos. We have everything.
All of
Um,
them.
we've been releasing a lot of batter ups lately.
Yes, we
Um,
have.
I believe this coming week, Rifkin, Old Ops guy. I'm not sure if I'm gonna join in, but if not, it'll definitely be at least Mike Rifkin doing a divisional preview. They're up to the Eastern Division, so they'll be doing that Eastern Division preview for both.
Ooh.
So they already did the Western and Central. So that's already on the YouTube page, as well as the Batter Up podcast, wherever you get your podcast. So continue to follow Batter Up. We'll have news throughout the baseball season and stuff. Um, Olavsky and I are also working on a. Right now, we're gonna do a soft launch ish, talking Knicks basketball, but eventually we're gonna do a full time basketball podcast.
Hey, good luck, guys.
We will launch a full on basketball only podcast doing all things basketball, probably in the fall, but we're gonna soft launch it, talking Knicks. So, uh, of course, bear with us as we only talk Knicks. It's probably going to be very one-sided and very biased, but
It'll be just like Bomber's banter, isn't it?
exactly,
Just like old times.
yeah. But it's a soft launch to a bigger podcast that we're planning on. So we're very excited about that. We can't wait to share it. Me and Olaf's guy, we're going to talk about logistics very soon. So we'll probably launch it in time for playoffs, which could be a very short playoff run for the Knicks, but whatever. And
Who
then, of
knows?
course, um, just continue to follow us for more stuff. You never know when we go live. Maybe I call an audible. You just never
Maybe
know.
he will. And maybe I'll join.
Yeah. But continue to subscribe and follow our pages, follow our socials, log on to our website. Only place where you can get many of our content. YouTube and the website, our socials. We appreciate you, love you, and we
So
always thank you for supporting us.
from both of us, I'm Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy. Stay safe and take care.
Peace and love, Danny Boy Reg.